first down is Purdy. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
Second down and 4.
Showtime. Showtime in the stadium, lights so bright we can't sit still. Hot dogs and a cold chill, we go wild just for the thrill. Cheerleaders doing their dance, crowd in a football trance. Friends and beers in every hand, living life like we planned. Let's step and go, we won't slow down in this wild football show. Let's step and go, we'll make some noise in this big crowd we know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, one and all, to what is another really important game. Now, I think that this game should have been reserved for Sunday night football, and we should have seen. I think we should have probably seen the Ravens versus Pittsburgh Steelers game tonight, but that's not the way the NFL decided to make this go. Instead, we will see the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers battling it out for the number one spot in the NFC. If the Seahawks win, they will be the number one spot, and they will get the bye week. If the 49ers win, they will get the number one spot, and they will get the bye week. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Howdy from Texas, says SK Steigerwald. What's going on, SK Steigerwald? Eden, hello. Robert Zamora, hello. Stormy Jones, welcome in. I got Big Bad Perm saying, what's up? Mario Dixon saying, let's go, bro. Let's go, Mr. Dixon. I see you out there. Smoke Burp, Courtney. We got Courtney in the chat. We got John Pierce. We got Frank Johnson. We got Earth Citizen, Stunt Girl, the QN Production, and Jay Sleepy Eyes. What up, Swarm Finder? What up, Wenda Sprunky? What up, ladies and gentlemen? Traveling Pony Studios also in the chat. I've watched every stream this week, says Traveling Pony Studio. Yes, well, this will be interesting. This will be interesting indeed, folks. We've got the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams are already in the postseason, so, you know, do what... I don't know if this is going to be one of those huge games that we end up with 200,000 views, but it very well could be. Both these teams are 13-3. This is familiar territory. We saw it with Sam Darnold last season. Last season, Sam Darnold, at the end of the year when he was with the Minnesota Vikings, was fighting for the number one spot when they had to play against the Detroit Lions. Here we are again. Sam Darnold, not so lucky last time. Let's see if Sammy Delight, can get his flowers today. Okay, folks, the San Francisco 49ers over the last couple of weeks, y'all, bye week in week 14, win. So 3 wins in a row, actually 6 wins in a row if you go further back here. San Francisco 49ers have been on a tear, but so have the Seattle Seahawks. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Colts. They beat the Rams in overtime. They beat the Panthers last week. Seattle has been looking very good over the last couple of games. Both of these teams very capable of winning this matchup now. This game against the LA Rams in the weirdest overtime win ever of all time, this should be amazing, man. This should be a really, really good one. Two really solid teams. May the best team win. And the best team who wins this game, or the team that wins this game, will end up getting that bye week spot. Okay, taking a look at this Seattle Seahawks team overall, according to the NFL Network, this team is ranked number 1 in the league. They are second in points per game offensively and second in points per game allowed defensively, giving up just 18 points per game. Meanwhile, they score 29. We look at yards per game. Offensively, they put up 350. Defensively, they give up 292. Yards per play. Offensively, they put up almost 6. Defensively, they give up 4.5. And you can see that defensively, this team is elite, guys. They are the number 1 team in all of NFL when it comes to third down efficiency. 32% success rate to opposing offenses, and yet offensively, they're converting third downs at almost a 40% success rate. Red zone efficiency, 57% here for Sam Darnold and company on offense, and defensively, they give up less than 51% conversion rates inside the red zone. Inside the red zone. Thank you, Michael Caldwell. Appreciate that, sir. Taking a quick look at the stats on the other side, not the same story, but pretty solid offensively on third downs and inside the red zone. And Brock Purdy has heard the calls for his head. He did not want Mac Jones taking his job. Brock Purdy came back. He's been great ever since. This team is putting up 27 points per game. They're putting up 362 yards per game. They're putting up 5.6 yards per play, converting third downs at more than 50% success rate. And inside the red zone, 66% of the time, if they're inside your red zone, they are going to score. Defensively, most of these categories are technically inside the top half if the cutoff is at 16. But points per game allowed, they give up 22.4. Yards per game allowed, they give up 389. Yards per play allowed could be an issue here. They give up 5.6 yards per play. Third down efficiency and red zone efficiency, they rank 15th in both of those categories as well. Let's run through the personnel here really quick, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a quick look at this Seattle Seahawks unit. Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker going to be the two guys in the engine room today. Jackson Smith in Jigba, an absolute stud, leading this team in multiple categories and actually setting multiple records for the Seattle Seahawks in targets, receptions, and receiving yards for the most in a single season ever for the Seattle Seahawks this year. Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed going to be wide receivers 2 and 3, and your big tight end today going to be A.J. Barner, but we might see a few other guys out there like Eric Saubert, who's really the only other tight end available for this contest. Left tackle, Charles Cross has been ruled out for today's game, so instead we'll see Josh Jones, Gray Zabel, Jalen Sundell. We'll have right guard Anthony Bradford and right tackle Abraham Lucas for the Seattle Seahawks offense. Going to get kickoff any moment here, guys. I was a little bit behind to get into this game. I didn't realize the kickoff was at 7 and not 7:15. At least that's what it said. It said 7, but I don't know that we've even done the national anthem yet. So let's take a look at the 49ers offense. Yeah, they haven't even done the national anthem yet, so I've got a little bit of time here. Okay. Top players for the San Francisco 49ers, and no more questionable tags, we should know for sure. Okay, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, both healthy for today. Jawan Jennings lined up in the slot right here. Going to be your wide receiver 1 according to the depth charts on ESPN here. Ricky Pearsall was questionable coming into today's game. Ricky Pearsall has been ruled out for today's contest. So Sky Moore or Kendrick Bourne will be filling in this spot instead of Ricky Pearsall, and DeMarcus Robinson will be available for today's game. We'll see how DeMarcus Robinson does. George Kittle also had a questionable tag coming into this one. He has been ruled good to go. How much of a snap count he will be on today, I do not know. We could also see some Jake Tonjes or Luke Farrell in this contest. And Brock Purdy has been spreading the rock a lot, man. Brock Purdy has had multiple different catchers, multiple different players catch passes for him. Let's pull up the stats really quick. So touchdowns. Receiving touchdowns, I should say. Christian McCaffrey has 7. Jawan Jennings has 9. George Kittle has 7. Jake Tonjes has 5. DeMarcus Robinson with a touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk with 2 receiving touchdowns. Luke Farrell with 2 receiving touchdowns. So you can see that they've been moving the football around a lot this season for San Francisco. Nobody over 1,000 receiving yards, so Brock Purdy has had to move the football around a lot, and it hasn't just been Brock Purdy. Mac Jones has had to get some work in here as well. Let's go back to the depth chart. We'll talk about the offensive line really quick. Trent Williams was questionable. He's also been ruled out for today's contest. So no Trent Williams and no Ricky Pearsall. Left tackle, instead, is going to be Austin Pleasance. Left guard, Spencer Burford. At center, Jake Brendel. At right guard, Dominic Puny. And at right tackle, Colton Mikovits. This will make up your San Francisco 49ers offense. Taking a look at the defense now. We'll go to the Seattle Seahawks side. This is one of the better defensive units in the league right now. There is no denying that. Whether you're a Seahawks fan or not, the numbers do not lie, and I just showed you those numbers moments ago. These are the men that make up this defensive unit. Jerron Reed, left defensive end. Nose tackle, Byron Murphy. Right defensive end, Leonard Williams. Weak side linebacker, DeMarcus Robinson. Strong side linebacker, Boye Mafe. And your 2 linebackers on the inside. On the left side, it's Drake Thomas. On the right side, it's Ernest Jones IV. Your 2 corners for this contest, Devin Witherspoon and Reek Woolen, going to be your 2 corners, and your 2 safeties today. Julian Love is going to be 1, but Kobe Bryant has been ruled out for today, so we'll probably see Ty Okada at safety or Nick Emanwari filling in as well, since the strong safety position, there are 2 players listed on the strong safety depth chart here for ESPN, and both Kobe Bryant and A.J. Finley have been ruled out for today. Kobe Bryant is out, A.J. Finley on IR. So we will be seeing some sort of rotation there. We might play most of this game with just 1 high safety and a nickel kind of doing that hybrid role throughout the game for the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm sure they've got it all figured out. I'm sure they've got it all figured out because duh. Okay, top quarterback. Who do you think, guys? Brock Purdy missed a handful of games this season. Sam Darnold did not. Brock Purdy this season has only played in 8 games. So do what you will with this information. Only 8 games played. Sam Darnold has played all 17. I guess this would be game 17. He's played 16 games. So if you doubled the numbers for these 2 quarterbacks, or doubled the number just for Brock Purdy, you can kind of figure out what we should expect in this one. So Darnold has played all 16 games. Brock Purdy has played in 8 games. If you double the passing yards, Brock Purdy would have more passing yards. If you double the rushing yards, Brock Purdy would have more rushing yards. If you doubled the total touchdowns, Brock Purdy would be on the cusp of 50 if he was healthy and played all season and kept up this pace. He would also have 18 interceptions. The completion percentage will take it as the same. The passer rating will take it as the same. The sacks taken, it would be 16 to 25. Purdy gets my vote in this matchup. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Just putting it out there. Blue and green storm. We the Wild Northwest. Go Seahawks. Now, as a whole, as a unit, as a team, I do believe the Seattle Seahawks have A, the better defense, and B, the better weapons upfield. Yes, Christian McCaffrey is an absolute beast, but Jackson Smith-Njigba is something different, man. And honestly, the running backs have been doing decently for the for the Seattle Seahawks. Not amazingly, but decent. Thank you for that, Super Larry. Appreciate that. Let's go see chickens. I see. Okay, Georgia saying LOL. Okay. Darnold is going to get her done. 49ers can't put pressure. Why don't we take a look at that? So this season, good point when you say that, because we look immediately, the eye is drawn to the red. The eye is drawn to the red. That is the worst team in the NFL when it comes to getting to the quarterback. So whoever just said the 49ers can't put pressure, they're not wrong. However, the secondary is still pretty good, and they are holding teams to, I guess it would be the inside here. They are holding teams to just 100 yards per game on the ground. Through the air, middle of the pack right here, but you got to tip your hat, man. You got to tip your hat over to these other way, actually. These guys got to tip their hat over to the Seattle Seahawks, because the Seattle Seahawks defense has been very good when it comes to turnovers forced. They've got 24 turnovers forced this season. They are averaging 292 yards allowed per game, so holding teams under 300. They are holding teams under 100 on the ground and under 200 through the air, and they can get to the quarterback.
All right, guys. Injuries from the game. D. Winters had an ankle, didn't return. Tatum Bethune, groin, didn't return. Brock Purdy had a stinger there at the end. He would have returned. Luke Gifford had a quad and returned. Go ahead.
Any of those seem like they could linger into next week?
Possibly with Tatum and D. I'm not sure about Luke. They said Purdy would have gone back in. He checked out all right, but that's what we got now.
When you just think of Seattle's defense, especially the pressure they put on Brock?
It's what we expected. Just with their defense, we expected to do better than we did, but we knew it was a good defense. We knew that in week one. We knew it from watching tape all week. We knew it would be a challenge, and they got us in a number of moments. Had a couple opportunities, I thought, that we missed. And you can't miss those versus a team like that.
You never want to put it on one play, but do you imagine if you are able to recover that fumble, might be a very different game?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of plays, though. Chance to recover that fumble could be different. Chance to stop them on 3rd and 17 on that run could be different. The turnover at the end inside the 5. Their 3rd and 2, our 4th and 2. Number of plays that could make it different.
Offense is struggling more than we've seen in a long time. Obviously, the defense is really good. What did you see from the execution?
I think when you have, having 40 plays, couldn't get the run game going. I think we only had 12 runs. I think we converted 1 third down in the first half. That was a series, I think, the only series that we got the score on. But you convert 2 third downs in a game. They control the clock for 40 minutes. Versus good, just kind of the opposite of what happened last game. I thought we did better on our 3rd downs. We played them in week 1. We had the ball for 40 minutes. We averaged about 3 yards a carry in that game, but we stayed on the field, so we were able to get 36 runs. Today the run average was similar, but we only got 12 of them, and they controlled the ball, kept it from us, and when we had to get something going, we didn't stay on the field on 3rd.
You talked a lot about wanting to stay here and not go back on the road, and now you know that you have to. Just what's the feeling, and what have you seen?
No, we're ready for it. It would have been nice to have to have a home game here, or both home games, and get a bye. But it is what it is. This team's been through a lot this year. Now we got to do it the hard way, and we'll embrace the shit out doing it the hard way, and look forward to it.
Could you try to get the guys to be upbeat after this one, or do you want, do you understand any kind of disappointment that might feel? What was the mood of that locker?
Oh, disappointed. Those guys, regardless of how well we did, our guys really fought out there. Our guys were exhausted after the game, like we are after every game. I told them to enjoy tomorrow. We don't know whether we're going to play Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. We don't know who we're going to play until after the afternoon game. But when they come in here Monday, come in ready to go, wherever we got to go. And hopefully we can earn it a chance to see that team again.
How close or not close were Trent and Pearson to playing?
They were pushing it. It would have been too risky to play them, though. But they pushed it all the way up to the end. But it would have been the smartest decision by us to let them.
This game was on Sunday, they have maybe a chance to.
Oh yeah, much better chance.
Best team in NFC, other than yourself?
I don't know. I mean, anytime you got a good defense, a very good defense, a good offense. I mean, they've been showing that they're one of the best teams in this league all year. That didn't feel much different than the team we played in week 1. I thought the game was a little bit similar in terms of the battle on both sides just to get in the end zone. But they've earned the number 1 seed. They played like that throughout the whole year, and we're going to have to earn the chance to get to play them again.
Any specific area defensively where you have trouble coping more than anything else?
No. I mean, it's similar to what they do each week. You know, they got a good pass rush. They're tough to run the ball against, and they're tough to get explosives against. So.
4th and 2, Kyle, play action. Is that look for something over the middle there? I didn't really see anybody who he could have directly thrown it to.
Oh yeah, we would have hit Kittle. He was. No, he was on a corner. No, he was extremely open. You know, they had one guy had to cover 2, a go route and Kittle, but we got beat inside on that and weren't able to hang in there for it. I think it was Lawrence who showed up right when the quarterback got to the top of his drop.
Brock's performance.
I'll see when I watch the tape, but I thought Brock battled out there. The one drive we got something going on where we turned it over there inside the 5. But he made some big plays on that drive. I thought he battled throughout the game. I know he was under duress, which we had a feeling that would be the case going into the game. But, I mean, none of us played good enough to win, but not disappointed at all in Brock. I thought he battled like he always does and did some good things.
They missed a couple of short field goals, but 13 points. I mean, how did you think your defense played?
I mean, we need to tackle better. We need to play better than that. I was proud that they kept battling and was able to hold them to 13 points. That's what gave us a chance there at the end. But we need to play better all around.
When you guys have so many missed tackles, is there reasons for it other than guys over pursuing or Seattle's doing?
No, there's not reasons for it. Just got to be better. All right, guys. Thanks.
Obviously, you won 6 in a row, and to lose 1 is not easy. But what is the mood in the locker room, you think, after this one?
Obviously, we wanted that one, but onward, man. We're in the playoffs, and we don't have time to sulk over it. You know, I think a lot to learn from that tape, and just got to get better and come ready to go for the playoffs.
Your viewpoint, why is it so hard to get rolling tonight offensively?
Have to check the tape. Yeah, we got to be better, though.
On the interception, the ball was definitely tipped. Did you have to adjust to it? What kind of difficulty did that add to that one?
It's a play that I have to make, absolutely have to make. Expect nothing less but to make that play, and it's completely on me.
Yes, obviously, played the beginning of the season. You watched film all week. Was there anything they did that was like, whoa, this surprised us a little bit? Or they just beat you to the ball and had a better night?
Yeah, they were the better team today. I think, we'll have to check the tape and correct the mistakes and go from there.
Does this feel like as good of a defense as you guys have seen?
It's a good defense. I think, also I think we just got to execute better. I think, again, we'll have to watch the tape and go from there.
The way you guys have been rolling, 127 points and on the last 3 games, we've been shocked if someone told you guys were going to score 3 points.
It's a shame, man. I mean, defense did an unbelievable job the whole game. They held them to 13, and that's huge, and it's on us, man. And again, I go back to that play that could have put us in the game, and that's on me, and I'll learn from it, grow from it, get better, and get rolling in these playoffs.
Being that you guys have to go on the road and kind of fight back to get back to the position in the playoffs, they talk about you as basically like a perfectionist when it comes to football. Is it hard to put a play like that behind you now that you have to turn your focus to the next game?
It's challenging, but you have to. You don't have another choice. At the end of the day, we're in the playoffs. We don't know who we're playing yet, but we've had 2 short weeks in a row, and so it's time to get our bodies back, our minds right for a hell of a journey ahead, and just take it one game at a time. You don't have time to sulk over things. You can learn from mistakes, grow from them. I got to make that play, but I can't get it back, and I just know I'm going to come hungry in these playoffs.
easy for you guys all year. How equipped do you think this team is to go kind of the hard road to make a run?
I mean, this whole season's been difficult for us, and we've continued to beat the odds, continue to show people that we're a real football team. We didn't show it today. We know that, but I love the guys in the locker room and how we've responded all year. And, again, put it on myself. I'm going to come back ready to go, and I know everybody in that locker room will as well.
You're pretty consistent all year in saying that not only each game has its own life, but each play has its own life. Was that tonight sort of a example of that?
Yeah, definitely.
What we're able to do before and what happened tonight?
Yep, for sure.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Early, obviously, this was a tough one. What did you feel out there up against that Seahawks defense? What did you feel like could have gone better? What was the feel for you out there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're good defense, good front. Did a good job with making us, go through reads and checking the ball down. And, for me, it's like I just wish I could have been a little bit more efficient. And, they're going to make you work for the yards and make you have to convert on third down. And I just feel like third downs were definitely an area that, I have to be better. Our offense as a whole, I feel like that's the part where if you got to win these kind of games, you got to be good on third down. So, they did a good job.
How do you feel about having you had the number one seed and a bye right in front of you, couldn't close it out? How do you feel about this team and your chances on the road?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was our goal, but we can't dwell on it. We have a pretty quick turnaround here, and we got to go win next week. So, but our team has been through so much adversity. Guys going down, next guy up. People have counted us out, and that's fine. And they can say what they want, but for us to go on the road and find a way to win, we've done it before, and that's going to be our goal. So we got to take it one day at a time, get better from this film, heal up, and go find a way.
What happened on the hit you took there at the end, and how do you feel right now?
I feel good. It's just you got hit and the left shoulder sort of lit up, so feel good right now. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I think so. Yeah.
You guys have been on such a roll offensively, 40-some points a game, and all converting third downs, and killing it in the red zone. And is there an element of, surprise, shock that someone could do this to you?
I mean, for us, we always feel like there's plays left out there, and we could have converted. We had an op, we just didn't due to X, Y, and Z. So I'm not going to sit here and go, man, how the heck did that happen? They played good defense, and we didn't execute. And when all these due to X, Y, and Z. So I'm not going to sit here and go, man, how the heck did that happen? They played good defense and we didn't execute. And when all these other games where we've pulled away and had good points and stats and all that stuff, it's because we execute on the gritty third downs. We stay on the field and then we go score touchdowns after that. So obviously that's something that we needed to do tonight. We didn't, and then the scoreboard shows it. So.
And to the play action, did you see Kittle? Was there any chance to be able to get that ball to him with the pressure in your face?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where it felt pressure, but at the end of the day, I need to, find a way to set my feet and get it to him and take a hit if I need to. I was concerned with just having my feet set, and then I saw George, and from where I was at, I didn't really have a clear picture, to be honest. But we got back to the sideline, and it was like, dang, he was there. So just one of those plays that sucks, but you got to learn from it.
Christian, not surprisingly, was pretty hard on himself about the interception. Obviously his play he has to make. Did you talk to him, say anything to him, or do you just leave him alone after something like that?
I mean, it's a tough play. Ball got tipped at the line, so it came out weird, and he's trying to adjust. He beat his guy in man, and then all of a sudden the ball's just coming in weird, and just didn't go our way. And the other guy was right there to catch. It was right in his lap. So. Obviously Christian's hard on himself with that. I'm hard on myself because it's like, dude, don't get the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. So it's just one of those things that sucks. But, Christian's a baller, dude. He's going to live to play the next play, and he's a Hall of Fame running back. So, dude should walk out with his head up. So, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Howdy.
You've been pretty clear in the last several weeks that look, it's up the offense to score. We're going to have to outscore teams, and that's how we're going to do it. Mm-hmm. And things like this happen. They're a good defense, but are you shocked, surprised? How would you sum up how this offense that's been rolling so good got shut down?
Disappointed. I mean, yeah. NFL, you can have a bad game any game. Unfortunately, we decided to have a bad game today. Not efficient. Were we 2 of 9 on third down? Tough. Didn't really get our run game going. We started the game off with, 2-3 and outs? I mean, if they have a good defense, and their run game was super effective tonight, kind of hard to, expect to really, win the game if we're not going to score more than a field goal. Shout out to Eddie, though. Thank you for making it.
Colton McKivitz joked that you guys try to make it as hard on yourselves as possible. Is that something that you can adopt and kind of embrace as you go on the road?
Well, look, we lost at home to a division rival for the division and the 1 seed. That sucks. That just is what it is. And yes, I'm disappointed about it. It's horrible. Good news is I get to play football next week. Whether it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever it is, I get to play football again. And it's going to be on the road in a hostile environment. Would I much rather be on a bye and get to play at Levi Stadium? Yeah, but that's just not our reality. So, I fully expect our team to come in, attack it, and we have a whole new season ahead of us. It is what it is. So we just got to go to work. We have a week. Hopefully we get Trent back. That's super helpful. He's a really good football player. Maybe Ricky. So, that's horrible. I hate that. I hate losing. I hate losing to the Seahawks. But hey, we get to play football next week, and whoever it is, whenever what happens, go Cardinals.
Anything at all about their defense that surprised you? You played them once early in the season, and you watched film of them all week. Is there anything that jumps out at you at what they were doing that was different or better? Or
No, they pressured randomly. They brought a lot of pressures, which is what they do. They drop really deep. They force you to check the ball down, and they rally to the ball really well. That's their defense. That's what their head coach has made their defense do. When you've got a really good, D-line, and, they can all win one-on-one battles from time to time, and then you bring pressure with it, and they got a smart secondary. So, no, nothing surprising. Just I wish we would have taken advantage of some of the situations, and we didn't, and that's football. Yeah.
You missed a week. How do you feel physically coming out of this game?
Yeah, I didn't make anything worse, so hoorah.
Cardinals, you have a preference to where you might want to play next week?
You know what? I'm not a betting man, but I'm just cheering for Buda Baker to have 3 pick sixes tomorrow. That's it. And Trey McBride to have 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. That'd be awesome. Tight end you.
Obviously out of your guys' control, but Shanahan said that if you guys played tomorrow, that there would have been a lot better chance that Ricky and Trent could have played. Is that in your mind at all, or just is what it is?
Nothing I can do about it. It would have been helpful to me too, but you don't get to choose when the games are. They tell you when you play, and I feel like, sure, it would have been helpful if we had an extra day, but you got to show up when they tell you to show up, and our offense didn't show up the way we needed to tonight.
For 9 years, I would imagine you would expect him to sort of figure it out. He usually does at some point in the game. Was it weird? He just didn't seem to have any answers in this game.
I feel like we kind of did have an answer there at the end, and then, you have a tip ball, it's a weird, and then another tip for an interception at the 2-yard line. We score a touchdown there, and it's 10-13, and yeah, who knows? It's a completely different game. So, I think Kyle, kind of found a rhythm right there, and then that happens. Then they take, 7 minutes off the clock, they go down and doink a field goal, but, you're still down 2 scores at that point. So, I think Kyle had found his rhythm. I think our offense was starting to find a rhythm, and then, hey, tip ball, it's tough.
You've been a part of some teams and seasons that have had a lot go against you. It feels like sort of similar this year, but the record's obviously very different.
Yes.
How do you feel just how hardened this team is, and can you lean on any of those experiences to go into next week?
It's a good question. Let's see. For the guys that have all been here, yeah, you can lean on some of those seasons, like when we started the 21 season or the 22 season, with a losing record, and we found a way to sneak into the playoffs. Sure. I think it's a little bit different, when you, we weren't missing as many players back then, from Bosa to Fred. That's really tough, and, but there are experiences that a lot of our vets have gone through, and it's just your back's against the wall, what are you going to do? And one thing I do, I think this team's really resilient. I do. I love the way our young guys are playing. I'm still a huge fan of Alfred Collins and CJ West, our young guys that are getting reps. I think they're getting better week in and week out. And So there are like experiences that we can lean on, but the cool thing is it's a brand new season every single year with so many new guys taking advantage of new opportunities and stuff like that. And while, yeah, you have guys who have, Brindle missed 2 games in 4 years. McKivitz has played at a high level. Yeah, we lost Trent for a game. Hopefully that's it. Burford stepped up. Pooney, is a 2-year starter. Like, we have guys on our whole offense who have played a lot of games. And so I think, like I always say, like, we just got to lean on our offense, and we got to figure out a way to move the ball, stay on the field, and not make our defense, stay out there so long. And shout out to our defense. I thought they played a phenomenal game and gave us plenty of opportunities. That's why I'm so disappointed, because our offense didn't back up our defense.
Kind of to follow up on that, to have to lean on your offense and then have to go up against a high-powered defense like you went up against tonight, and then have the type of offensive performance that you've had. Does that at all shake the confidence of the offense to be able to respond in a way that you guys have in the past 6 weeks?
It doesn't shake my confidence at all. I'm fully. I was expecting Brock to go out there and have 5 touchdowns. Yes, they're a very, very good defense. They showed that they were a good defense today. They kept us from scoring any points. So, kudos to them. I'm still incredibly confident in our offense. Anytime that 13's in the backfield with the ball in his hands, and I got 23 back there, I got a ton of confidence in this offense. And it didn't go our way tonight. We didn't make the plays when we needed to make them. That's football. All you need is one really good drive, and we didn't really have that one good drive tonight.
The Seahawks they're celebrating in their locker room, smoking cigars and dancing.
Cool.
Do you take offense to it, or you just say you take your medicine because of what they did?
I would do the same shit. Yeah, what? They won the division. They got the 1 seed. They won in a rival stadium. Good for them.
Say that despite playing as poorly as you did.
1 second. Let him go, then I'll come to you, Jennifer.
What does it say that despite playing as poorly as you did, that the game kind of turned on that one play at the end?
Can you say it one more time? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
What does it say that despite playing as poorly as you did as a team, that the game turned on one play at the end? It was that close.
That's football. That's what's crazy about it. Our defense played at a high enough level, and our special teams, made their kicker miss 2 kicks. They kept us in the game. And, if that's a touchdown instead of an interception, you're 10-13 with 10 minutes left in the game, and who knows what could have happened. And, it's not fun to live in a, who knows, what if. That sucks. But, we were almost good enough to play, to win, but we weren't. And then it turns out we only scored 3 points. We lose by 10 points at home. So it's incredibly disappointing, but, that's kind of the fun thing about football. One play can completely change every game. Yes, Jennifer.
You were talking about the energy that you expected from everybody. Was it where you wanted it to be this?
I thought our fans were fantastic. That was really loud, Levi Stadium. They helped us out so much in the first half. And then, I never blame the fans. We have to give them more to cheer for on offense. They supported our defense the whole time. They were just waiting for us to get going on offense. And, we didn't give them a lot to cheer for. And, like I said, it's more just disappointing for me because I like winning football games and I like winning the division and I like being a 1 seed. But that's not how it's going to go this year. And I'll see you guys next week. The team? Oh. Yeah, I liked how we started. It's just when you start with a 3 and out back to back, it's just kind of, that's tough. But when I'm looking down the sideline, the whole offense is they're eager and ready to go. There's no drop of confidence or anything like that. Like I said, when I look back and I see Brock Purdy in the huddle, I have so much confidence because he's such a good quarterback. And so, no, my confidence is the exact same. I'm looking forward to whoever we play. Let's go Buddha and Trey McBride. Thank you, guys.